Yes, everyone able to hear me? Yes, participants.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So the next topic is related to multidimensional matrix. Now it was easier to explore with single dimensional matrices and work with a one dimensional array. Now, if you are thorough with this subject of one dimensional array, let us move to multidimensional arrays. Sharing the screen in a minute. Okay. So when you talk about multidimensional or multidimensional contents, we just speak it in the form of matrices. Arrays. Let us name this. I'll put some index values over here. 0, comma 0. This is the index values. Then that is 0, comma 1. Next index is 0, comma 2. Second line is 1, comma 0. Then 1, comma 1. And next is 1, comma 2. Finally, we have 2, comma 0, 2, comma 1, and we have 2, comma 2. So if you want to specify an array of this type, that is two dimensional, you have to use int, then the name of the array, and in the brackets we specify the number of rows and columns. So I'll just increase the size so that you'll be able to see it clearly. So this method over here is declaration of two-dimensional array. Everyone able to understand? Whatever is specified is in the form of rows and columns. So it is of the structure array, and the round brackets it is row in the round bracket it is row followed by, it is of the form rows into columns. Everyone understood into columns? Yes, participants.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now it is very easy to calculate the total number of elements. Number of elements in two-dimensional array is simply number of rows multiplied by number of columns. So this formula over here, put it in the next line. So it is multiplied by number of columns. So since in our example, and 3 columns. Then the matrices is of size 9. Everyone able to understand two-dimensional matrix? Yes, participants? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is our visual representation of 2D array, but in practice, there can be accessed by pointers directly. And as we say that single elements of the array has address. Similarly, over here, each element will have address. Then it has the indexes. Over here, we have two-dimensional indexes. Okay. Then naturally, it will have a single value. Single value that is of type integer value in each array location. So here slide this. Fine. So now reading and writing is of two-dimensional arrays. So our concept is reading and writing operations on two-dimensional arrays. How to read it is very simple. Taking an integer variable b is equal to name of the array, and we just simply specify the row index and column index. We'll store, that is, the variable will store whatever is located at the index 00. Now let us specify it in terms of some integer values. So for better understanding, I just insert 1 in location 1, then 2 in location 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9. So there are simply 9 elements. So over here, we'll highlight this with different colors. So differentiate. So the red color text is nothing but the values, whereas the brackets give us the indexes. Now we are not talking about the addresses, since we are not using pointers at this present, because little complications are there to understand such kind of pointers, where we say it is pointer, but currently we'll just use a simple notation to access the arrays. Now, to access the second element, so you just change the column value to 1, and here the output will be 2. Similarly, if you want the last element in the first row, so you use 202, and you'll get the output as 3. Everyone at least understood the basic structure, how a two-dimensional array has been organized.
Yes, sir.
Yes, participants, any question? Now sometimes happen that we require even higher dimension than 2D. That means we can require even a three-dimensional array. So three-dimensional array, we can define it in the form of depth. So it is rows, columns, and depth. So this will become more complex structure, as we may use this In real life, 3D structures are generally used, whereas 2D structures, the best example is your display screen. So whenever you see graphics and animations, it is into X and Y dimension, which are displayed on the screen. So your screen has some resolution. You can find that in your display resolution settings. So it is the best example for two-dimensional data, and its application is nothing but your screen itself. Generally used for graphics, intense data processing, and various other applications. Now let us see a simple example. Suppose this first row represent all the students of first year computers. Then let us say the second row represent all the students of second year computers. And the third row, the students of final year computers, and so on. So you can have one class details are stored on one row, and your dimension of the matrices will based on number of, that is number of classes, that is FE, SET and BE, and the number of columns will be similar to number of students in your class. Everyone able to understand the concept, friends? Okay, so I'll just write a simple example. Rows and class and column represents students roll number. Okay, so we can say that, let's omit this 00. We can start from over here. 0 stands for first year and 1 stands for roll number 1. Again first year and roll number 2, and such that we can increase the row size, the column size up till we have 60 roll numbers. That means our array dimension will be 1 into 60. We have 50 students in SE computers. Then we have 1, starting from over here 1 1. We have 1 comma 50 will be the last element. Now let us understand that why you come to third year. We will start from 2 stands for third year, number of third year, and it contains only 20 students. So let us formulate the design. Row, or we can say array size, it is containing 3 classes, that is 0 1 2. So I put 3 as the number of classes. Students was 60 in each class, so I take the array dimension as 3 comma 60. That is, rows are 3 and columns are 60. So simply the total number of elements are 3 into 60, nothing but 180 elements. So you are working with 180 elements with this two-dimensional array. Okay, now accessing each class individually. So let us say I'll use a for loop for class 1. So I'm accessing class FE, taking an example of class FE. class FE. So we say that class FE ID, row ID was 0 and its column ID can be in the range 0 to 59 as there are 60 students. So for simplicity purpose, we can say we need a for loop for this. So the maximum element in the array, so I say size of that array is equal to, we use a for loop now, for I is equal to 0 semicolon, I is less than size. So this size is very important as far as accessing array elements, and we complete a for loop. Now in order to print the data, we use cout, and over here we are specify the array element. Now we know that the class is 0, that is FE code is row ID is 0. I am specifying I. So what it will do, it will print all the contents of the array elements from for class FE from 0 to 60. Just understand the basic concept of two-dimensional arrays. So this was reading to an array. We are reading from the contents of the array. Now let us see it practically. Just give me a minute, I'll share the screen. Okay, participants able to view the screen? Yes, participants?
Yes, sir.
Able to view the screen? Okay. Now first we'll declare a two-dimensional array. So my array was, as it said, that it is contained 3 rows and some 60 columns. So I'll write the main program. One second. int integer main. So this main will have only one return statement, 0. Now we are known that the row size. So I create int row is equal to 3. There are 3 rows, and int column is equal to 60. Now if you going to read and write, first we have to write into the array and then we go for reading the purpose. So I'll write one of the arrays. To create a function, write into array, we will have the for loop for int I is equal to 0. Always start the array elements with 0. I is less than number of rows, and increment I by 1, that is I plus plus. Now since we are using two-dimensional matrices, we will use another for loop. for int j is equal to 0, j is less than columns, semicolon j plus plus. And over here we are going to append the array elements, that means update the array elements. So first is I, that is number of rows, and second represents number of columns, and finally you put some values over here, simple multiplication I into j, and see what it is. So I just use I multiplied by j as the initialization of the array. I'll share the code with you. Okay. Now this code initially was used for writing contents to two-dimensional arrays. Next, we are going to read from the two-dimensional array. Read from two-dimensional array. So over here we will have reading from two-dimensional array. Okay, so while reading from, we have to display the contents of the array. So we have, as we have studied, that reading will have some values to be stored. So I just print it as output \n and let us see the count, how many variables are there. I put it int count initially is equal to 0. So this count was to be incremented over here. So I use count plus plus. And finally, in the last part, we are going to display the count. So number of elements in 2D array. Over here, we will display the count. Now let us run the program. Okay, so you can observe it. Initially there are some zeros. So this is I into j. So initially I was 0 and j is 0. Therefore we are getting the array elements over here as zeros. And then we are getting some values that are incrementing then after. You can see it over here. So the total number of array elements is now, you can see the size is 180. As we have studied in this example, that is, if we declare an array 3 by 60, then we have 3 into 60 is the total number of element is 180. So over here we have proof that it is 180. To be more precise, I'll insert the counter. So we can use another counter over here, int c1 is equal to 0, and to check it manually, I use c1 and the next line is c1 plus plus. We will check now the new values for the array. Since the input at runtime is not feasible in our online system, you can use scene for input, where you can enter data manually using keyboard. You can see the first element of the array is 0, 1 and so on. Output it is still last is 179. So 0 to 179 is nothing but 180. Everyone understood the basic concept of two-dimensional arrays. Yes, participants? Any questions? Okay, so if there are no questions, well, I'll put the code in the